All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to day 7. I think it's day 7 of Wimbledon, and we're starting to get to the real serious stuff. 16 players left, and we're down to the top 16. So let's see which one of these 16 players is going to win this trophy. Jovic versus Pegula. Very fun matchup. Very interesting matchup to start us off. We've also got Djokovic taking on Sabalenka. And then we've got Sabalenka today. We've got Sinner. We've got Gauff. Mukova's playing. Hurkacz. And FAA. So big day today. And a lot of doubles as well. Can we deserve a long rest after Wimbledon? I appreciate that. I'll need a long rest after Wimbledon. It's been a long year. The Iga Swiatek stream is the second most viewed stream on the channel. Wow. Look, it's not. It just looks like that. But it's definitely one of the big streams, which is really cool. But, you know, that's great. It's, yeah. It's one of the top 10 best streams we've ever done, bigger streams. But, yeah, it's not the... we've still got bigger ones that in the past. Everybody said Eala's slow serve is her weakness. Swiatek disagrees. Use slow serve Jovic. It's not against. It doesn't work against Swiatek. I mean, it works against Swiatek, but having a slower serve, we've seen it when it doesn't work. You know, against big returners, but it works against Swiatek. So that's and it probably work against Palin tomorrow. But it's against the big returners that it's going to be maybe exploited. But yeah. Yeah, Royal Box. Thanks, Dutchy. There's no bingo today. All the Royal Box. We're gonna have to. You know what we'll do? Because Royal Box bingo is kind of completely like we haven't done it. We haven't updated it for like 4 days. What we'll do is at the start of the quarterfinals, we'll reassess the bingo and we'll go back and see if we can. We might just make it like a little bit more general than specific people, because to be honest, most of the people on that list are probably at the World Cup. So exceptional coverage. Hey, thank you. I like Pegula and Jovic, and would like Pegula to win her first slam because she's so underrated. I agree. I would like that too. I would like that too. Slow serve doesn't work for Linda. Definitely won't work for Aryana. Yeah, exactly. Look. I mean, look, slow serve is, you know, let's just call it when her serve is a bit more vulnerable. Swiatek doesn't attack returns. She doesn't hit return winners as much as like Sabalenka or Raducanu or the bigger hitters. So, but again, if like I said, Eala doesn't have to worry about that until she plays Kostruk. So she won't have to worry about that in the next one. By the way, Chad, I'm having a coffee today because I need it. Sue Barker is the biggest one. Yeah, we don't have Sue Barker on the list. Where's my dog? She's on holidays for the next couple of weeks. Who has been the standout star so far? I don't think there's been a standout. I tell you this, chat, it's really hard, and I think this is hard, and I'm speaking on behalf of the entire tennis community because I feel like it. I think it's so hard for everybody in the tennis world to see past what Eala's doing. Because what Eala's doing is great, right? It's a huge deal. But I think a lot of people are going to be like, oh, well, Eala's the biggest story of the week. By the numbers, it is, right? If you're talking about views, you're talking about, you know, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, okay. She's the biggest story because the most people are interested in that, maybe. But is she the standout star of the week? It's hard to say. Because you got to put aside all that stuff. You know what I mean? It's hard to say. Because there's some players that are, like Pegula, going through the draw without making a fuss, looking pretty impressive. But is not getting the attention, right? So is that just as impressive as what Eala's been doing? Yeah, I would say so. Osaka's been doing real well without much attention, right? I think the big thing for most of the ladies is that Eala is taking the spotlight. So everybody else can work in silence because everyone's focusing on Eala, right? So, yeah. But we'll see. We'll see what... I think today we'll find out a lot. Because Jovic wins this match, and I think people start paying more attention to Jovic as well. Keys has been going through the draw with no... I think... And I said this at the start of the tournament. I think Keys could win Wimbledon quite easily. She probably should have when she got injured against Paolini in 24. She was definitely one of the favourites to win. She then won a Grand Slam after that. But no one's talking about Keys. Keys is going so under the radar, which is probably fine. I mean, she was under the radar until she was in the quarters or the semis of Australia when she won, right? So, but yeah. But it's tricky because everything would suggest that Eala has been the story of the week, and maybe she has, but it's also are we seeing because it's getting the most attention, or is it actually the biggest story of the week? Because she's beaten Swiatek before, and she's beaten joint Swiatek and Zarazua. That's not if you told me if it wasn't Wimbledon, you said that was at Indian Wells, I'd go, okay, yeah, that sounds right. I could see that. Or if it was on, in Miami again, I'd be like, yeah, okay. But because it's a Grand Slam, it's obviously at a bigger scale. But on the men's side, I don't know. On the men's side, I mean, Zverev's going through with no trouble. Zverev is sneaking through the draw very quietly. And the difference between this and the French was that this time at the French Open, he was the favorite. This time, right now, it's there's still Fritz, you still got Bublik, you've still got Djokovic, you got Sinner, you got Demonor, right? There's so many other players still in the draw that Zverev is not the favorite. He is just cruising. He is going without no fuss. No one's talking about him. Zverev's just kind of sneaking through the bottom half of the draw, very undetected, which is very interesting. Because if Bublik beats Fritz, why couldn't Zverev make the semis? That, you know what I mean? It's I don't know. Zverev is quietly going about his business. Unlike the French Open when there was a huge spotlight in him on day 5 because Djokovic lost and we're like, Zverev, it's your turn now. Do it now or not. He's not having that pressure this week, which is probably nice for him. It's still on Sinner. It's still on Djokovic. It's probably on Fritz. A little bit on Demonor. FAA's probably got more pressure on him to perform. So I don't know. It's been an interesting. I've had a great. I think Wimbledon week 1 has been so good. I think it's been such a good week. And we get to this stage and there's so many good matches, which is the best part, right? At French Open, we're like, who's going to win? But we've got so many good clashes coming up. Today, the top half of the draw for the ladies is crazy. We have got so many good players at the top here. I mean, Dimitrov's a great story, right? Is he getting enough talk? Is people talking about him enough, though? I don't know. Are we talking about Dimitrov enough? If he makes the quarters, then I think, and he should make the quarters. Even Ferry, I don't feel like Ferry's getting any... Again, because I think it's because Eala is getting all the coverage, even from the men's side. Everyone's focusing on her. That even Ferry getting to a 4th round is a wild card from the UK. It's maybe around the UK he's getting a lot of love, but I'm not noticing much about him online. The hometown favorite, he's the last Brit left. Again, I don't know if Ferry's getting much love, but maybe he is in the UK. I'm not sure. The headlines are all about Eala, so worldwide. So I don't know what's going on. Cam, you criticised Iga non-stop during the match on Sunday. She's not the worst player in the WTA. I read an article that players got bullied more online when reporters criticised them. You got to understand that I'm not criticising her for the sake of it. I'm coming from as a fan's point of view. I'm not a reporter. I'm a fan who talks about the sport to other fans, right? We all talk about it. By the way, if anybody came in here and started bashing Swiatek unfairly, right, and bullied her, I'd be cutting that shit out. But we can criticize players, like criticize them for their game. We can go, okay, what's she doing? Why is she doing this? And I'm coming from a fan's point of view. Like, I miss the way she used to play, and I don't know why she's like what's her, she trying to achieve now? How's she going to get back to that, or what is the plan for her? Yeah, but people on TV are saying, are saying negative things about Swiatek, and then people are going online and spewing hate. I mean, what we can't, like, if somebody's not playing well. Again, I criticize. Like, I usually get the most. I usually talk the most about the players that I like. So if I mean, we didn't say anything about Raducanu. Not that I don't like Raducanu, but we didn't watch her, and I like, she just must be like not playing well right now. But Swiatek, I really want her to be doing well. So that's why I'm asking all these questions. That's why we get a little bit more critical with her, to go, what is she doing? Why doesn't she look so confident? Like, what's going on? All right, players on court. But don't take me like I'm not hating on Swiatek. That is not what I'm not coming from a place of hate at all. I do not hate. There's no like hating on Swiatek. That's not what it is. It's just asking questions. Why is she playing the way she is? What's going on? What does she need to change? Like, we're trying to figure it out. All right, here we go. Players on court, ready to go. Because I wanted to do well. Like, I've been talking about her being the best player of this generation for years. And trust me, if anybody came in here and was like, Swiatek should retire, she's the worst player in the world, I'd be the first one to bash them up verbally. By the way, Pegula, again, she is so underrated. She is so underrated, Pegula. Straight sets victories all the way through. She hasn't played any top players till today, but like, yeah, she's just like cruising. Criticism comes with the territory. Bullying isn't. Yeah, I mean, look, there's definitely a difference between somebody who's going to be like, who doesn't like Swiatek and is going to talk negative about her whether she wins or loses, and then there's a difference between that and then somebody where I hope I come from, where it's more about questioning what's going on, trying to understand, and critiquing her game to get an answer of like, okay, well then how does she improve? Not just getting annoyed and getting angry by her for the sake of it, right? I mean, that's where the bullying comes into it, right? And the toxic, and then look, yeah, okay, maybe, starting the conversation of like, what's going on with her? Why is she playing like this? People take that as, oh, well, I can now put my 2 cents in and say something really negative. Again, we shut that shit out here. But I mean, what we gotta be asking these questions when somebody's like her, who is such a big champion. Like, how did she get to this point? We asked the same questions about Raducanu. Why does she lose? But unfortunately, or fortunately for her, she was kind of in the shadow of Swiatek, who was on center court playing Eala, that she kind of like, she lost in silence, right? Whereas Swiatek's loss was more magnified because it had more people paying attention to it, right? And it was on center court. And she's the defending champion, right? So there's a lot more eyes on Swiatek yesterday than there was Raducanu. Here we go. My view on the Czech match. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. I'm interested to see how Mukova handles Krejcikova because Krejcikova won Wimbledon 2 years ago. I think Krejcikova is the only Wimbledon champion left in the draw on the women's side, right? She's not the only Grand Slam champion, but she's the only Wimbledon champion. I'd rather have Pegula win. Jovic is a bad matchup for Eala. I'll tell you what. If you're worrying about this side of the draw as an Eala fan, you got to think of the next match in front of you. Don't be looking at the final. Because remember, the winner of this match plays Eala in the final. Right? Potentially. So there's so much more. Like, don't be looking at like, well, if Jovic is out, it's better for Eala. No. Eala's still got to play Noskova or Mertens or Kostyuk and Palini. Like, don't worry about what's happening today for Eala. It's too far away. We're only halfway through this tournament. There's too many more matches left to go. Also, keys. I mean, you got to focus on where Eala is in the draw. Don't focus on this part of the draw for Eala. It doesn't matter. Like, Jovic might win and then lose Sabalenka anyway. And then Sabalenka plays Eala in the fight. Like, there's too many variables. You know what I mean? Focus on where, the bottom half of the draw where Eala's still got so many killers to play anyway. Top half of the draw should not be on your radar. That goes for anybody down the bottom half of the draw, men or women. It's like, there's no point in Zverev thinking about Djokovic or Sinner because he's got to play Lehechka, right? Too many things left to go before we get to any of those matches. All right. I'm going to go with Pegula in 3. Let's see how Jovic looks. Jovic does have her ankle still strapped like she did 2 weeks back. As we get a fault from Jovic, second serve. It's the left ankle. Second serve. As the return goes up the line. And too good by Pegula. 15 love. Now, the winner of this match will face face up against either Gauff or Bencic in the quarterfinals. So that's Jovic, Bencic, Gauff, Pegula. Crazy. And then you've got Krejcikova, Osaka, Mukova, Sabalenka up the other part. This top half of the draw is insane. Andreeva is the only player that is out from that top half. Like, she's the only seed that missed out in the top half. All the other top seeds have progressed. Like if you projected the draw out, this is what it would look like, except for Krejcikova over. But she beat Andreeva, and Krejcikova is no slouch. We know who she is. She's no random. So top half of the draw is exactly as it would have been projected, which is kind of crazy. That doesn't ever really happen. As that volley goes wide by Pegula, and it's 15-0. Never really happens like that. Whereas on the men's side, you've got, on the top half of the draw, you've got, Sinner versus a qualifier. You've got 2 unseeded players playing each other. You've got Djokovic versus a qualifier, right? You've got FAA versus Vakina, but Tien was the higher seed who missed out. So, yeah, men's top half, it should have been Medvedev. It should have been, maybe Hodar should have been there. Maybe it should have been Rublev, right? Instead of Safilin. But, Fonseca, right? I mean, it's a lot more, a lot different up the top half of the draw for the men. Bottom half of the draw for the men's pretty much what you would expect, except for Shelton. I think Shelton's the only one that missed. God, if he had beaten Vitanen, he probably would have played Dimitrov in the 4th round. All right, 15:30. Oh, shit. Scoreboard's wrong way. My bad. Hang on. Thank you for telling me. There we go. All right, 15:30. 15:30. By the way, D-Funk, I gotta be honest, buddy, it's getting a bit boring, mate. I feel like you need to either get some better material or, I think it's just a little bit, you're getting a little repetitive, mate. Also, saying that I'm creating a Monica Seles is kind of crazy, so I think you should maybe mind your manners. As that backhand goes in the net from Pegula, 40-30. $40-30. I mean, you got to just be a little bit more like mature, mate. You don't need to be so angry. 40-30. As we to serve is a fault. Late call. Second serve. $40-30. All right, 400 goes in to the 400 Pegula. Back in now from Jovic in the back of Pegula. And Pegula to wide. One love Jovic. Thanks, Deb. Do you think Gauff is becoming a bigger threat on grass too? Not yet. I think if she beats Bencic today, because, like, let's be honest, right? Who's Coco beaten? She's beaten a couple unseeded players in a quali. She's won 2-3 setters that, haven't been easy. Beating Bencic will put her, I think, for me anyway, will put her in that category of, like, seriously watch out. She hasn't really played anyone that's given me been super convincing yet to think that she's now a grass threat. But if she beats Bencic, and the way she beats Bencic, if she beats Bencic in straights, then you've got to be like, well, Coco could win this thing. Still not convinced, though. I still think there's more players ahead of Coco that's going to win, like Pegula and Sabalenka or Osaka. Like, I think they're ahead of her still. Even Bencic. But if you beat Bencic, then I think that'll convince me a little more on Coco. On the grass. Because Coco's obviously great. We love Coco. But she's unproven on grass. So if she beats Bencic, that would go a long way to putting her hand up as one of the favorites, right? As with a 400 rally, Jovic up the line in the net, 15 love. You should take a peek at the Australia-Philippines tomorrow night. Yeah, why? I mean, I'm going to be so busy, so I won't be paying attention. But if you could update me, that'd be great. I'm keen to know what's going on. 15 love. As a backing up the line, great return from Jovic. Pegula gets it back, and then Jovic with a slice winner. And it's 15-0. 15-0. As the return goes back into Pegula, back into from Jovic to the forehand Pegula. Jovic to the forehand goes long. That's 30-15. All right. 40-15. As that backhand goes out by Pegula. 40-30. As we serve again. Into the forehand of Jovic. Backhand to backhand now is Jovic is the winner. Ooh, okay. We get the deuce. Get to deuce. huge hitting from Jovic. Return. Nope, that's a fault. Second serve. Second serve. The forehand Jovic. Backhand from Pegula. Again, the forehand Jovic. Pegula forehand cross court goes wide. All right, now Jovic has got a break point. Jovic to take the break. Bad game by Pegula. She's up 40-15. All right, 40-15. There's a bit of fault. Second serve. Second serve. As the return goes in the forehand of Pegula. Jovic to the forehand to the backhand of Pegula. Sliced. Into the forehand of Jovic as Pegula backhand cross court. Jovic gets it with the slice on the stretch. As Pegula backhand again to the backhand of Jovic. Pegula backhand up the line as Jovic to the forehand cross court. Pegula again to the forehand of Jovic. Sliced. As Pegula drop shot. Oh, Jovic hesitates and hits it in the net. I don't think she thought she could get there, and then she went, actually, no, I can get there, and then she didn't get there because she hesitated. Deuce. Nice polo cam. Looks good on you. What brand? I don't know. I bought it from a thrift store. It's just really warm. It's just really super thick and warm. Don't worry, Chad. I washed it multiple times before I put it on. All right, first serve's a fault, second serve. Backhand return is too good by Jovic, and it's advantage Jovic to try and grab this break. To break the monotony, if you cannot arrange an interview with if you cannot arrange a interview with players, you can interview their coaching staff. That would be interesting. What do you mean monotony? What is this? Is it getting monotonous? What? All right, advantage Jovic. As a backhand return goes in the backhand of Pegula. Jovic backhand. Nope, Pegula hit it out. There's the break. Don't have the sound, but you can just imagine the crowd goes wild. All right. Jovic, 2-love. I tell you, Pegula let that one slide. I've said this before, and I just don't have any interest in doing interviews. Not that I would say no to players that wanted to come on and have a chat, but it's just not something that I just don't want to. And if you're talking about Eala specifically, there's a lot of Eala interviews out there. I don't know if you've noticed, but you could watch about, I reckon, almost probably 12 hours of Eala interviews, because every podcast in their dog is trying to talk to Eala and is talking to Eala. You can listen to her talk to Andy Roddick, listen to her talk to every single podcast that's ever podcast, right? And I don't know if me talking to her would actually make any difference, because she's probably going to say the same things that she said to everybody else. So it's just not something like I just don't think you need another person asking the same questions as Eala. You can go watch her talk to those people and listen to what she says to them. You know what I mean? But if she was like, hey, I would love to come on and have a chat with your audience, she's more than welcome, of course. Everyone's more than welcome. But I just don't do interviews, because everybody else is doing interviews. So there's so much out. I don't need to make that content, right? That content exists, 15-0. As Jovic serves. I'll tell you what would be really cool, to getting Eala on the channel while we're doing a live stream. That'd be fun, because that would be a different format. Whereas me just doing a talk, just talking to her, because it would be through the internet, because she doesn't live in Australia. Yeah, That's been done. You can go watch so many of those. She's done that many of those interviews. It's like, you know what I mean? But it'd be cool to have her like live on the channel, like while we're just watching a match and being like, what's your perspective on this? And like just like talking. That'd be cool. That would be different. But you know what? Like, I just don't have any interest in doing like interviews with any player. One, I don't have time, right? The time zones are terrible, but also like you can see most of that anyway. A lot of people doing that. You know, Andy Roddick does that really well. You got the players box does it really well. Speaking of Pegula, right? You can watch, you know, Caroline Garcia does great interviews, right? It's all been done. All right, 15:40. Pegula to get back on serve. As the backhand return goes to the forehand of Jovic. Pegula the backhand. To the forehand of Jovic. It's Pegula with the forehand cross court. Jovic. Forehand again to the forehand of Pegula. As Jovic to the backhand goes wide. Pegula breaks back. Just imagine the sounds. Just hear the sounds. The crowd goes wild. You know the noise. All right. All right. Let's get this Djokovic match going as well. I'm interested to see how if Safiullin can push Nole. He obviously just kind of destroyed Fonseca, which was a little bit surprising. And he's played a lot of tennis, Safiullin, but I don't know. I'm interested. I reckon he might be able to challenge Djokovic a little bit, but Nole should win. He should win. You're probably the only official person who hasn't spoken to Eala, and it's probably time you spoke to her, Cam. I just explained why that doesn't interest me. Does like, you know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Like I just explained that. Chat, did I not just explain it? All right. We're back on serve. 2-1. I just joined. Explain again. You can just rewind the stream like 10 minutes and you can listen to what I said again so I don't have to repeat myself. All right. If you request an interview with Eala, she will surely agree. That's not the point. That's not what I already explained. It's got nothing to do with like, I'm not scared of being rejected. If she said, I wouldn't be surprised if she was like, who are you? I don't know. And that's fine. But like, again, it's just like not, it's just not, she's doing enough interviews. She's done so many. I would love her to be live on the stream and we can just like not do an interview. Like, you know what I mean? Because she like do something different. But yeah. I love 15. Because that way you get to talk to her, chat. And that would be way more fun than me talking to her in a pre-recorded interview and showing you, right? Imagine if you got to actually, like, she responded to your questions. See, that would be better, right? See, chat, I'm not just a pretty face. I have a brain. 15-all, right? How much better would that be if you actually get to talk to that person rather than it just being me talk to them and then upload a video? Like, right? That would be more fun. That hasn't been done, right? I don't know. Maybe one day we'll do that. Anyways, volley goes into the backhand of Pegula. Volley from Jovic is good, but Pegula puts up a lob. And the lob goes long. 15:30. All right. There's Pegula, great serve, 30-0. Serve again. Into the forehand of Jovic. Pegula forehand cross court. Jovic gets it back. As we go up the line to the backhand of Pegula. Pegula hits it long. All right, Chad, I'm just looking at the schedule for tomorrow, and it is no surprise that Eala and Paolini are playing first match tomorrow. I am surprised Dimitrov Ferry is on center court. A little bit surprised. Because there's 2 top 10 clashes that are on court 1. Court 1 is where you want to be tomorrow. The tickets there are crazy. Oh, we could do a bit of a double header with Italians, maybe. All right, 30-40 is Pegula. Hits the winner, and it's deuce. Yeah, the next couple of days are going to be really, really busy. Would love Dimitrov to win. Yeah, I can understand that Ferry's being British is on center court, but it's interesting that like there's 2 top 10 clashes on court 1, so court 1's a good ticket tomorrow. All right, deuce. As with a backhand rally. Into the backhand of Pegula. Backhand now from Jovic in the forehand of Pegula. Jovic to the forehand again in the forehand of Pegula. Jovic gets the point though. Pegula overhits it, and Jovic has got a break point to get the break again. All right, Djokovic and Safulin about to walk out. There's a backhand rally. That goes in the net by Pegula. There's the break. Jovic 3-1. They're just showing the all the people that are in the Royal box today. Eala is playing center court again. Yeah, no surprise. No surprise. As for the serve. Into the slice of Pegula. Pegula hits it wide. 15-love. I wasn't referring to Alex in particular. Any WTA player would be fine. Actually, I'm more interested in the coaching staff and knowing, for example, if Alex has a nutritionist and her diet details. Okay. I don't know if they would actually give that information out, though. That's the thing. Also, I gotta be honest. I don't think I'm the person that I'm probably not the person to ask those questions because I'm not a nutritionist or a dietitian. So maybe it'd be more interesting if somebody qualified would actually ask those, know what to ask, you know. But would they be willing to ask, like, give those details? That's 30-love. All right. Players are about to walk out on court. They're just introducing every single person who is sitting in that royal box. As a backhand slice into the backhand of Pegula. Forehand from Jovic into the backhand of Pegula. As Jovic forehand again, the backhand of Pegula. Drop shot. And Jovic hits it wide. And it's 30-15. 30-15. It's coming home. Let's go. All right, 40-15. Jovic got a 4-1. As Pegula backhand return goes back into Jovic. Pegula with a forehand into the back of Jovic. Pegula slice is a winner up the line. Beautiful shot. What's going on? We've got Djokovic taking on Sabalenka in the fourth round for the men, and we've already got the ladies underway with Jovic and Pegula. Jovic is up a break. And then we've got Sinner coming up later. We've got Sabalenka, which is going to be a real interesting matchup against Osaka. It's a big day today. Big day. All right, first there's a fault by Jovic, second serve. As a return goes into the forehand of Jovic. Forehand now goes out by Jovic. We get the deuce. If Pegula is underperforming, does having a podcast channel be the reason why? No. Chap, we got to stop doing that. Because that's what like so many players have complained. Not complained. So many players have been... That is not that far removed from people saying Raducanu isn't playing well because she's modeling. Like that's... Players can have lives and have hobbies and do things that are not related to this. Like they don't have to be in the gym when they're not practicing, when they're not sleeping. Like players also can do podcasts in their downtime and still be very good. So like, let's not be like, oh, well, Pegula's losing this match because she has a podcast. That's no. I don't think that's what she's thinking about right now. She's probably thinking, how the hell can I beat Jovic and get this break back? You know, players can do other things and still be good at their... I mean, look at Sabalenka. She's on the cover of magazines. She's doing photo shoots. She's still number one, right? You can do it all. You can do both. We don't need to blame her podcast on the fact that she's down one break. It's not. Also, she just won a title in Berlin. Oh, so she made the final in Berlin, so she's not underperforming. She's just losing at the moment. All right, deuce. All right, Djokovic walking out on court. Let the players live their lives and play tennis. You can do both. Nobody blamed Rafa's injuries on his wife. Nobody blames Djokovic's form on his family. Right? Nobody's like, oh, well, Djokovic's shoulder hurts because he has kids. What? What? What do you mean? So let's not do it for every other player, you know? All right. Forehand goes out. Double fault by Jovic. Advantage. Pegula. By the way, there is a strong Novak Djokovic fan group going on in the center court. They are loud. They're wearing loud shirts. Advantage Pegula. As we have a forehand in the net from Jovic. Pegula breaks back. All right, we've had a bunch of breaks in this first set. Very tough contest. All right. What do I think of Novak's chance today? I think he wins. I think he wins in 4. All right. 3-2. Jovic. Thanks, Deb. All right. Back on serve, 3-2 Jovic. As Jovic serves. Sorry, Pegula serves. An ace. 15 love. $15 love. Enjoy your humor and excitement you bring. Hey, Richard, thanks for joining. Thanks for sticking around. As the return goes in the backhand of Pegula, but it's out by Jovic. 30 love. 30 love. Cam, you should make the Nole match the center focus. The center of attention. Okay. Well, you know how this works. 40 love. The double header, we go between the two. So if one's getting a little bit more interesting, we focus on that for a bit. Like if this, getting to the end of a set. And the other one, we go back to the other one if things are starting to get crazy over there. It's, it's juggling. So I'll do a little bit of each. We're not going to just be like, focus on Djokovic and then ignore Pegula. Yeah. Pegula's 3-0. We'll just do a bit of both. Hey, what's up, Brandon? How you doing? 31 minutes, by the way. 3-0. 3-0. But don't worry, I'll be focused on Djokovic once they kick off. Mukova and Krejcikova, yep, they're going to play. We'll keep an eye on that as well. 3-3. All right. As Jovic wins a point, 15 love. By the way, chat, I thought about this the other day. I was thinking, and I've said this on stream before, like, why does Jovic not get any attention from the American? And as far as I know, that she's not getting any attention. I'm like, why is Jovic not getting any sort of, there's no hype. There's no, it doesn't feel like Jovic is getting any sort of like promotion, right? From the American side. Maybe she is now. I don't know, but it didn't feel like she's getting much, that much attention compared to like players in the past. The last person that I remember, and I was like, this is so similar to how Kenin was. Kenin was a Grand Slam champion in 2020, but she still wasn't getting as much coverage and promotion on the American side, and not getting as much love. Now, I think Jovic is probably getting a bit more love than Kenin. I don't know why because Kenin, I remember Kenin 2019, 2020. I mean, yes, there's like Anisimova, there's Coco, broke out on the scene. Serena was still around, right? So there was obviously a lot more players. There's a lot of players, right? But I was like, Jovic is like, I mean, she's the next big star for America, right? She's 18. She's, doing well. But there's a lot of players still ahead of her in the American rankings. But like, I was like, it kind of has that Kenin vibe where it's like, why is she not getting, like, she should be, maybe she is now. Maybe at the time, like 3 months ago, maybe it was like, still people didn't know who she was yet. She needs a Grand Slam run like here to then people go, oh, hang on, who's this new kid on the scene? Maybe it's changing now. Maybe after Wimbledon it's changing, but I don't understand why Jovic is not being like the poster of the future of American tennis, because she should be. Because she is very, very good. 40-15. She's very, very good. And she's in like heaps of interviews and stuff, and she seems very like charismatic. So hopefully after this Wimbledon, or even into the US Open, hopefully she's getting a lot more promotion. And, people are like, they're talking her up a lot more, because she is definitely legit. There's a bit of volley into the backhand of Pegula, and then lovely volley from Jovic. It's 4-3. 4-3 Jovic. Martina is certainly hyping her up. Good. 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 See, I'm not hearing like, I'm just seeing online and getting a vibe of like what the topics of conversation are, and it doesn't seem to be around Jovic much. Especially like Tennis Channel, right? They're the biggest. Like they talk about American tennis players because that's their audience, right? But I haven't heard too much about Jovic on there. But maybe things are changing. Maybe Jovic is getting a lot more attention now, which is good because she deserves to have attention, because she is a legitimate Grand Slam star in the future. Like, she is going to win a slam. All right, 15-0. Safiullin hits a lovely winner, 30-15. I've got Djokovic in 4. Djokovic in 4. As he serves against Safiullin. Into the forehand of Djokovic. Safiullin back into the forehand Nole as Safiullin cross court. Into the forehand of Djokovic. Now Safiullin goes to the backhand of Djokovic with a slice. Safiullin drop shot. Djokovic gets it back. Safiullin up the line, but then Djokovic puts it away. Great rally. Great rally. By the way, Mukova and Krejcikova just started as well. All right, 30-0, first game. As Pegula hits in the net, Jovic gets the point, love 15. As that goes the net by Safiullin, break point Djokovic. Break point for Nole to start us off. $30-40. As the return goes into the backhand of Safiullin, backhand for Djokovic sliced. Into the backhand of Safiullin, up the line is good. Djokovic gets back with a forehand. Safiullin, cross-court backhand. Djokovic slices it back. Safiullin with a forehand into the forehand of Djokovic. The forehand of Safiullin. And Safiullin into wide. Djokovic breaks. First game. 1-love. All right, Pegula's in trouble. Love 30. Love 30, Pegula. Serving to the backhand of Jovic. Pegula with a forehand to the backhand of Jovic. And is it a backhand again from Pegula? Jovic goes... No, Pegula goes long. Love 40. Love 40. I think she will get it now. Kenin was not marketable. I think you have a certain... Sophia didn't. Jovic, yes, for Tennis Channel talked her up. Okay, good. I'm glad she's getting attention because she deserves it. All right, Jovic breaks 5-3. 5-3. Jovic is going to serve the set. Hey, Linda, thank you for the 5 on a on my Melbourne to Sydney train enjoying your stream? I heard those trains are nightmares. I was going to take one of those trains, but then I heard that they're absolutely brutal. The overnight from Melbourne to Sydney. Is that worth, Linda, is it worth taking? Because I want to maybe do that for fun, but if it's not fun, I'm not going to do it. I've heard that they're rough. All right, 15 love. Also, how much is the train from Melbourne to Sydney? Isn't it like $80? All right, so fuel and lovely shot. It's love 15. All right, that goes in the net by Jovic, and it's 15-all. As Jovic serves again. Djokovic, by the way, is covering his eyes. I reckon he's having a problem with the sun. As it a 4 now to forehand rally. Up the line from Pegula to the back of Jovic as Pegula forehand into the forehand of Jovic as Pegula on the stretch. Goes up the line. Great shot, Pegula. 15-30. All right. Djokovic. 15-all. Trying to serve the fault. Yeah, Djokovic he's dealing with something wrong with his, he is serving into the sun. So, like, he's looking up at the sun when he serves, so maybe that's the problem. And then double faults. Yeah, Djokovic is struggling to see. He is struggling. He's covering his eyes again. Yeah, Nole is having sight issues. 15-30. He is serving directly into the sun and not enjoying it at all. 15-30. He's had it before. This is not new. Also, Pegula backhand return goes to front of Jovic. Jovic in the net, 15-40. There's Djokovic again. Making errors, 15-40. Just keeps covering his eyes after every point. 15-40. He's wearing a hat, but a hat doesn't make any difference when it's here and then you look up. Like, the hat doesn't do shit when you're looking up. 15-40. Breakback point for Safiullin and Pegula. As the return goes into the front of Jovic. Pegula gets the break back. Jovic hits it out. All right, 5-4. All right, Djokovic again. Just stumbling after looking into the sun. All right, 15-40. Djokovic serves. He should go with an underarm serve. Like, legit. 30-40. Like, I feel like Djokovic, maybe it's just not in his nature to do an underarm serve. Maybe he doesn't feel that's a good shot or a nice shot. But if he's struggling with the sun, underarm serve. Just do an underarm serve. Don't have to look up. Underarm serve. Like, just chuck it in. Who cares? Everybody else does it. Nobody's going to, vilify Djokovic for doing it. This feels like a legitimate reason why you would underarm serve if your sun's in your eyes. As Safiullin hits out in the return, and we get the deuce. Yeah, Djokovic is covering his face. He is not doing well. My trip is free as I'm on a travel pass. Oh, nice. But, like, is the Melbourne to Sydney train dangerous, or is it cool? I've heard mixed reviews that sometimes it could be a little sketchy. Backhand return into the backhand. Djokovic goes wide. He just drags it wide, and it's advantage to Safiullin to get back on serve. All right. As Pegula tries to get level, but hits it in the net. Love 15. Who's winning the World Cup? England. 3 Lions. Why is the underarm serve frowned upon? It's I feel like it's less frowned upon now, but it's seen as like a cheap shot, I guess you could say. It's a cheap shot. As Djokovic backhand goes wide, Safiullin breaks back. But I'll tell you what, that wasn't because of Djokovic's bad play. That was because of the sun. He was blinded. 1-1. Love 30 here as we get a 4 now from Pegula into the 40 Jovic, but Pegula hit it out. Love 40. So many breaks of serve. Djokovic again just covering his face. Really struggling to see. All right, love 40 break set points for Jovic. There's a fault from Pegula. Second serve. There's a backhand return. Into the back of Pegula. Pegula in the net. Jovic takes the first. 6-4. 6-4 Jovic. That was an ugly set by both. But Jovic had the lead, and that's all that mattered in the end. All right. First set in the bag. I think that's the first set she's won against Pegula. Or did she win the first set or the second set of their first match? I can't remember. No, she won the second set in Charleston this year. So the second set she's won against Pegula, and that was not pretty. Both players 5 winners each, 16 errors and 12 errors. Not a good set of tennis. And 7 breaks out of 10 games. Not a good set of tennis. 1 ace for Pegula, that was it. Hey, Linda, thank you for gifting a membership. I rewatched a bit of the 2025 Roland Garros finale stream. Got to say, it brought a lot of joy. Your stream was great. Hey, thank you. Hopefully I can do another great stream this week. 30-15. Mukova and Krejcikova are 1-1. All right, 30-15. As a return from Djokovic goes to forehand. Safiullin. Djokovic passing shot up the line. Safiullin drop volley winner. 40-15. How annoying is it when Djokovic exaggerates things? He pretended something was in his eye. He kept touching his eyes, obviously pretending. Yeah, I don't think you did you just get here? Yeah, you just got here, didn't you? Because we talked about what was going on with Djokovic for about 5 minutes. All right, 2-1 Safiullin. Safiullin. By the way, Mount Everest is absolutely packed. Mount Everest is absolutely stacked with people. There's a couple of seats left, a couple of areas left, but that's it. Strong player, Nole, but also natural actor. Yeah, you again. I don't think you weren't here. You had to rewind the stream so then you know what was going on with Djokovic and why he was touching his eyes. I don't think you understood what was happening. All right, Pegula is going to try and fight back here. He went up a break. Why would he pretend to and get broken? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's up 1-love with a break, and then he's like, "Oh, something's in my eye." Like something wasn't. You know what was in his eye? The sun was in his eye. And I don't know if you know this, but the sun is pretty hard to look at. In fact, you shouldn't look at the sun if you can avoid it. I don't have contact lenses, but I'm sure it's worse with contacts in as well. So yeah. Anyways, Safiullin in the net 15 love. ATP is where USA needs a superstar. Agree. Like Fritz winning Wimbledon. Yes? Yes or yes? Fritz winning Wimbledon, how about it? All right, 30 love Djokovic. $30 love. It's a good serve from Nole. 40 love. See, he's crushing it down here because he's not down the sunny end. He's not looking into the sun anymore. Look how different it is, chat. Chat. Look how different it is now. Going from staring into the sun where he couldn't win a point to staring into no sun and up 40 love. I mean, come on now. He just won the game. 2-2. Come on now. That couldn't have been more obvious. That the sun was bothering Djokovic. Now, the sun hasn't gone away, so when Djokovic goes down the other end after this game, he's going to have to do that, stare into the sun again. So watch. I don't know how. Again, I think you should, like, if your shoulder hurts, Michael Chang, your underarm serve, right? If your eyes hurt because you're staring into the sun on a serve, I feel like that's a totally legitimate way or a legitimate reason for an underarm serve. Not that you need a legitimate reason. You can do an underarm serve whenever the hell you want. It's whether or not you want to take the backlash from doing it. But I feel like I think Nole's from the old school where it's like underarm serves are a little bit like frowned upon. It's a little bit like, a little bit like sneaky tactics. Maybe if Djokovic was from like the new school and he might think about, maybe I'll do an underarm serve so I don't have to stare into the, big ball of fire. 30 love. But I mean, he should chuck it in just to avoid, like every second point, to not have to stare at the sun. If it's really bothering him, why not do it? Why not chuck in an underarm serve just to avoid looking at the sun for 1 point? So then like you alternate. So every second point, you go blind, right? I feel like that's legit. I don't think anyone should be booing him for that or questioning that. He might not win the points. That's another thing, but I don't know. I feel like it's a legitimate tactic. Self-preservation is we had a lovely volley from Jovic, and it's 30 love. 40 love for Safiullin. Death taxes are getting women's Wimbledon winners wrong. Well, I picked Sabalenka, so I don't know. Speak for yourself. 40 love. There's a bit of fly now from Djokovic. Into the back of Safiullin. Djokovic to the net. 3-2 Safiullin. 30 love Jovic as we had a backhand from Pegula into the forehand of Jovic. Pegula into the forehand of Jovic again to the forehand of Pegula. Jovic up the line. Pegula with the backhand. Into the forehand of Jovic as Pegula forehand again to the backhand of Jovic. Into the forehand of Pegula, but Jovic hits a winner. 40 love. I tell ya, I would love to see a Jovic Gauff match. That would be fun. If we're going to get Jovic versus Gauff, that could be. They haven't played yet, have they? But in a quarterfinal of a Grand Slam, Jovic's going to get some attention then. All right, first serve's a fault, second serve. Jovic is playing really well, despite there being so many breaks and it's kind of ugly. But she is hitting the ball well. All right. She double faults because of course. 40-15. All right, Djokovic putting eye drops in as he goes down the sunny side of the court to try and serve. Has Nole ever done underarm serve? I don't know. But like I said, I think guys that are over the age of 30 are coming from the school of underarm serves equals bad, right? Bad, unsportsmanlike. That's probably the right word. Whereas the younger guys, right, thanks to Kyrgios, right? Kyrgios doesn't get any credit for the reason why underarm serves are now acceptable. Not to everybody. Some people are still like dirty tactics. But I think most people are like, okay, it's a thing that people do. It's not bad. It's maybe not your favorite thing, but it's Kyrgios deserves all the credit because he took so much shit for doing underarm serves. He would do them all the time, and everyone would boo him, right? And be like, he is terrible for that. Bublik does them, and we all go crazy, right? We're like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. And the younger guys do them occasionally. I don't know who else does them that often, but they happen, and we don't get as people don't get as mad. That's because Kyrgios did it first, as in popularized it. I know they used to do them back in the day. By the way, they used to do serving underarm was how you play tennis back in the day. The overhead serve didn't come in until I think the 30s or 40s. The way you would start a point, if you go watch some old footage of tennis, I'm talking about real old, early 1900s, right? They hit the ball underarm to start the point. And I read this somewhere that the first person that decided to do an overarm serve, they were getting so much shit for being unfair and using these dirty tactics. The same shit that people get for doing underarm serves. So the first guy to do the overarm serve was because it was so much more powerful, right? It was such a an advantage that other people then copied. Go, oh well, we have to do that because that guy's hitting so big. They were getting so much hate for that because it wasn't fair. And now it's the other way around where the underarm serve comes back and it's that's not fair. I wasn't ready. Yeah, but that's how they used to do it. And there's no rule against it, is there? If it was cheating, it would be illegal. So you'd get penalized if you did it. But you don't. Djokovic double fault. Chad. That sun is a problem. Djokovic, down one end, doesn't lose a point. Down this end is down love 40. Nole is struggling so bad with the sun. He cannot serve down that end. Love 40. As Safiullin goes to the backhand of Djokovic. Safiullin backhand again to the forehand of Djokovic. Into the forehand of Safiullin. Djokovic forehand up the line. Safullin's there with the backhand cross. Safiullin now gets his own forehand into the Djokovic backhand. Safiullin in control. As Djokovic forehand on the stretch goes in the net. There's the break. 4-2. Safiullin, who's not even wearing a hat, is up 4-2. He's not bothered by the sun. All right, 1-1. Pegula holds in the second. Yeah. They switch sides after this. Yep. All right, 4-2 Safiullin. Kyrgios doesn't care, but Djokovic is old school. Yeah. There's definitely I feel like underarm serves are definitely a generational thing when it comes to doing them, right? The younger guys are more willing to do them because they're not seen as bad. But the older guys might be no, I don't do that. It's not something that I do. And fair enough. All right. Love 15 Djokovic. It's not that sunny. Yeah, but it's still the sun is still out. It's still a problem for Djokovic, clearly. All right, drop shot from Djokovic. Safiullin gets back with a drop shot. Djokovic back in pass. Safiullin volleys. Oh, it went wide. Oh, no, it landed in. Djokovic gave up. All right, 15-0. Nole stopped. I thought it was out, but it was in. 15-0. All right, Pegula, love 30. Love 30. By the way, Krejcikova and Mukova are just breaking each other consistently. I love 30 as Jovic serves again. That's feeling just a lovely backhand up the line, 30-15. As Jovic serves a fault second serve. Serve to the forehand of Pegula. Forehand from Jovic to the forehand of Pegula is Jovic backing up the line. Pegula gets a back cross court with the forehand. Jovic in control. Pegula just defending as we had a forehand from Jovic again. The backhand of Pegula. Jovic backhand is into the backhand of Pegula, and then Jovic eventually hits in the net. And it's love 40. Pegula to break in the second. Yeah, Krejcikova and Mukova are 3-0 in the first. All right, love 40 as Pegula hits a return long. 15-40. Was a 30-year-old Djokovic trying to get that break back as he returns a slice, and Safiullin puts away the forehand winner. All right, 40-30. If Nole has a problem with the sun, the solution is sunglasses. Yeah, I think people think that that's just an easy, like, that's not like, it sounds like an obvious solution because, like, when you're driving your car and the sun's in your eyes, you put your sunglasses on, right? But even that doesn't always block the sun out. If the sun's, like, right there, it just stops, it just shades your eyes from, but if you're staring into the sun, it still doesn't help. 5-2, as Pegula breaks, by the way, 2-1. But there's also something, like, I remember, like, I would coach in sunglasses, right? And then I would have to go play, and then I would take my sunglasses off to play because I wouldn't play in glasses. It's not, like, you lose a lot from wearing sunglasses. Like, your depth perception's a little bit different. I mean, the color of the ball is a little bit different, right? Everything's darker. So there's definitely, your eyes have to adjust. Now, that's why you see someone like Joint, who wears glasses all the time, right? She's used to it. But, like, you don't see many players wearing sunglasses because it's not just easy to just go, oh, I'm going to put sunglasses on now because it's sunny. Like, it's not, it sounds like an easy answer, but it's not. Oh, you're joking. Oh, okay. I'm trying to give you a good answer and you're just making jokes. Say lol. So then I don't have to answer, like, with a serious question. I don't have a good question. The Jovic stream audio sounds bad.
I'm sorry, why does it sound so bad? Is everything okay? I'm sorry, I'm trying to make this the best stream I can.
Is that better?
Is it better? Is it, what if I speak like this? Is it better? Okay. Why don't they try to if you can hear me? Why don't they try to see if it's better?
Oh, much better. Okay, good. All right, 2-1. By the way, the audio is not that bad. I listened to it back when somebody was complaining the other day. And I listened to it, I'm like, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. You want to hear bad audio? I'll give you bad audio. All right, 2-1 Pegula. Sounds like you're on a plane. All right. Djokovic serving to stay in the set, and guess what? He took his hat off. Wow. As a return goes the forehand of Djokovic. Forehand from Safiullin. To the Djokovic backhand. Safiullin on the stretch. To the Djokovic backhand. And Safullin's there with the backhand cross court. Djokovic again to the back of Safiullin up the line. Djokovic forehand goes cross court, but Safiullin open court winner. That's 15-0. How Aussie of you? You almost said sunnies? Well, yeah, I forgot that I was talking to an international audience, so sunglasses is the proper term. All right. 30-15 Pegula. As we get a backhand from Jovic up the line of the forehand of Pegula. Jovic with the forehand goes wide. 40-15. Djokovic at 15-30. Now, the problem with Djokovic at the moment is that, like, he's losing the games, or he's struggling when the sun's in his eyes down one end. He's got to figure out how to break Safiullin more. If he's going to end up losing the game when he's down the sunny end, he's got to figure out how to not let that, lose him the match, because Safullin's serving well. Serve and volley Djokovic 30-0. All right, 30-0. Djokovic serves again. Into the foot of Safiullin, off the tape with the slice of Djokovic. Safiullin, too good with the pass. Set point of Safiullin, 30-40. To give himself the first set. And look, the sun's not going anywhere. And they're not going to close the roof. So Djokovic is going to have to figure it out. He's going to have to figure it out really quickly, because this match might get out of hand. All right. Pegula holds 3-1. As Norway serves a big serve. All right, deuce. Djokovic survives. Deuce. As Djokovic losing the point again. Advantage to Safiullin. Safiullin to take the first set here. This is actually bad news for Djokovic. Well, this is getting out of hand. Serve. Another ace out wide, all right? Back to deuce. Safiullin is from Russia. All right, 15. I love 15 Pegula. Djokovic says another ace. Advantage Nole. And as the backhand return from Pegula goes to the backhand of Jovic. Into the forehand of Pegula. Jovic gets it back, but Pegula goes up the line. Jovic backhand then goes wide. Love 30. Nice play by Pegula. All right, 4-1 rally. As the line up the line to the slice of Safiullin. 4 now from Djokovic to the 4 to Safiullin. As Djokovic backhand slice. Safiullin, another slice into the 4 to Djokovic. Safiullin gets it back with a forehand into the 4 to Djokovic. Safiullin, another backhand into the 4 to Nole as they go backhand to forehand. Safiullin into the Djokovic backhand. Drop shot's good, but Safiullin gets it. Djokovic with a lob. Lands in. Safiullin casually hits a backhand into the slice of Djokovic. Then Safiullin comes to the net with a drop shot winner. Beautiful shot. Safiullin, great rally. Deuce. Why is Djokovic losing, Coach Cam? Well, the reason why he's losing is Safiullin is playing super, super solid, right? Safiullin is not giving anything away. And Djokovic is struggling to serve when the sun's in his face. Like he's double folding down that end. And when he hit, it's not just the serve. Because you know when like you accidentally look into the sun and then you have like black dots in your eyes for like a couple of seconds after? That also is happening, right? Would be happening. So not only does he stare into the sun and then the serve goes in, when he looks to the return of Safiullin, who's hitting very, very well, he also probably can't see the ball for a couple of seconds after that, right? As Djokovic is the winner advantage. So yeah, Safiullin playing super, super solid, but Djokovic is struggling down that far end. Safiullin's not though, which is really impressive. He's not letting that, because you can adjust your service ball toss, to avoid looking into this. Safiullin's not even wearing a hat. He is not bothered, but it's definitely bothering Djokovic. Now, advantage Djokovic. By the way, Pegula gets a double break 4-1 in the second as he serves a fault Nole, second serve. Second serve. As the backhand return goes in the net by Safiullin. All right. Djokovic holds. Safiullin's going to serve for the set. All right. Here we go. Safiullin serving for the first. As Safiullin comes to the net, Djokovic pass, Safiullin volleys, Djokovic pass, too good, Safiullin in the net, love 15. He is losing today, mark my words. Who's losing today? You just was very vague. He is losing today. There's a lot of players playing. Which he? You're going to be more specific. Are you talking about Hurkacz, Struff, FAA? Who are you talking about? All right, Safiullin serves the let. Oh, you bet. Djokovic, mark his words. All right. Mark his words. As a backhand rally, slice into the net by Nole, and he yells himself. He knows that was a bad miss. Bad miss. Krejcikova and Mukova are just breaking for fun. Ah, Safiullin with another error, 15-30. Chance for Djokovic to get maybe the break back here. Pegula at 15-0. She got the double break in the second. All right, 15-30. Yep. Krejcikova breaks back. All right, forward rally. Volley from Safiullin. Oh, it goes wide. 15-40. Great passing shot from Djokovic right at the feet of Safiullin. Has a bit of slice from Pegula into the volley of Jovic. Jovic hits it long, 30-15. 30-15. All right, 15-40 here. Djokovic returns into the fortress of Safiullin. Safiullin hits it out. Djokovic breaks back. But he's serving down the end where the sun is blinding him. So let's see what happens now because Djokovic is back on serve, but he's serving in the sun. Safiullin has that set point. All right, Jovic 4-4 with Pegula. As Jovic hits a backhand cross-court, Pegula with a slice is in the net, 30-0. So now is the ultimate test for Djokovic. Can he level? Despite serving down the end he struggles most today. By the way, the sun will get out of the way over time. You know, another hour passes, it's probably not going to be as big of a problem. But at this time of the day, it's right in his face. And it's in a lot of players' face. I mean, Pegula's dealing with it as well. She's serving into the sun right now. But as the time goes on, it'll slowly get out of the way of that ball toss, and it won't be in your face as much. As a passing shot from Jovic, too good. 30-40 to get a break back. 30-40. Oh, 30-40. As Pegula serves. Cam giving a lesson on how the sun moves. Well, I am an architect, and that's part of the planning process. All right, Deuce, good serving Pegula. By the way, chat, unless you built your own house and you didn't know any of this stuff, like you just look around your house. Your house has been designed, one, because of your neighborhood, like your neighbors, right? So that, you know, and I don't know how the laws are in every place, but usually this is the general consensus, right? Your house, even if it's designed not by an architect, but just by a building company, has been designed with the thought of the sun overhead. It's also been with the thought of your neighbors and where their backyards are in relation to your backyard. Like all of this stuff, your house is not just being put there because it looks pretty. Even those copy and paste houses that you see in new neighborhoods, they have all been like, there's been a level of like design to them. You just go walk around your house today and be like, yeah, the sun is over this side and it comes into this window, and that's because of it's all, trust me, Chad. Unless you built your own house and you didn't think of any of that stuff. You just went, I'll just do whatever I want. All right, 15-love, Djokovic serving. As the backhand return goes out by Safiullin, 30-love. 30-love. Pegula gives one of the breaks back. Djokovic serves again. Down the tee, the backhand Safiullin. Return goes out. 40-love. This is the best game that Djokovic has served down this end. 40-love. How do you know that your house has not been designed with the sun in mind? Let's not get into semantics. As we return now into the forehand Djokovic, back in for Safiullin. Into the forehand Djokovic in there, 40-15. Well, I don't know about like how the process is in most countries, but in Australia, especially in Melbourne, part of the planning process, right? So you have to consider your neighbors, especially if it's a already built up neighborhood. But also you have to do like a sun map You know, that's a part of it, because if your house is overshadowing someone else's house, that's a problem. So you can't build in certain parts of your block or your lot because of the direction of the sun in relation to your house and the shadows. And I don't know if that's everywhere, but that's definitely here in Australia. I'm sure it would be most places in the world that you couldn't have that. I mean, the UK is different because it's so built up. So I don't know, maybe those rules don't apply as much. But yeah. But part of the planning process in Australia is you got to have like a sun chart. You've got to have, you know, like sun and shade, kind of like show the shadows of your house so that you can, you know, that you're not impeding on other people's houses, all that kind of stuff. Anyways, that's not what we're here for. Love 40, by the way. Djokovic holds. He's a 5-all. Wow, amazing. All right, forehand to forehand rally. There's Djokovic on the stretch into the forehand of Safiullin, backhand from Djokovic. Into the backhand of Safiullin. As Djokovic backhand goes to the forehand of Safiullin. Into the forehand of Djokovic. Forehand from Safiullin is up the line of the backhand of Nole as Safiullin with a drop shot from Djokovic, but Djokovic hit wide. 15 love as Pegula hits it out in the return. 30-40. 30-40. I'll tell you, Mukova and Krejcikova keep breaking each other. Why don't they do that for tennis courts? I mean, they probably do. All right, so if you're on 30 love. Like with a tennis court, I think the best rotation of a tennis court is so that the sun goes from, you know, one side to the other. So it doesn't go like over, if that makes sense. It goes like, I can't do it without drawing a picture. Anyways, 30 love. So that when the sun is setting or rising, it's on the side of the court, not directly behind the court, if that makes sense. So, like, I think that's how, I don't know where's East and West at Wimbledon. But hey, maybe one day when in a rain delay, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about sun patterns and I'm sure there'll be a riveting rain delay conversation. 40 love. Safiullin holds. And Djokovic will serve to get to a tiebreak. And Pegula cannot get the double break. But she still has a break 4-2 and it's deuce. All right. Deuce. As we had a point in there by Pegula. What are the notes for? I'm just writing a book. All right, advantage Jovic. There isn't any breaks in that match. They are just holding serve. Are you sure? You're saying Mukova and Krejcikova are just holding serve. Then why is my phone going off every time a break happens? Or is my phone broken? Maybe my phone's broken. There are no breaks in the Mukova match. Then why is my phone telling me every second that somebody wins a game? That's annoying. Every time I look at it, it's like break, break, break. All right, 15 love. Djokovic serving to stay in the set. Yeah, okay. So the app that I'm using is broken. The app's broken because every time someone holds serve, it says break, and it's giving me a notification. It's telling me that there's a break every time. Yeah, you're right. There has been 0 breaks, but my app is broken. This app is sending me a notification saying break. That's why it's saying like every game is a break because every game's been a hold and it's broken. That's funny. So yeah, you're right. There's been 0 breaks, but I'm getting notified every game that they're breaking each other every game. That's annoying. All right, 40 love. Djokovic to get to the tiebreak. As Djokovic serves. It's a Fueling in the net. All right, tiebreak. Here we go. Who you got winning the tiebreak, chat? Who is winning this breaker? Almost an hour played in this first set. 4.2K viewers. Why the decline? What a strange, weird... Just listen to what you just said. What, 4,200 people is not... That's a lot of people. What are you talking about? 15 love. As Pegula with the break, 4-3. As Fueling loses the first point, Djokovic and then Djokovic 1 love. Who you got winning the tiebreak? Let me know. As we get a volley from Jovic. Nice shot. 15-0. 15-0. As Djokovic serves 1 love. He serves the backhand of Safuelin. Backhand of Djokovic to the backhand of Safuelin. Up the line of the forehand of Djokovic is Safuelin with a forehand of the slice of Djokovic. And then Safuelin with a smash. Why is the like count not coming up? I don't know. Press the like button, it might work. I'm not sure what's going on. But by the way, don't forget to subscribe. We are so close to 309K. We are so close to 309. We're only 120 away. 309K is crazy. All right, 30-15 for Pegula, and it's 1-1. Djokovic gives back the mini break. All right, as with a backhand winner from Safuelin. 2-1 Safuelin with the mini break. Already did. Thank you. 40-15 Pegula to stay up the break. All right, 40-15 Pegula. As the return goes in the front of Pegula. Now Jovic can't get that backhand. Pegula 5-3 keeps the break. Jovic going to serve to stay in the set now. As Safuelin with the forehand up the line winner, 3-1 Safuelin. I'll tell you, Djokovic has done so much hard work. Boy, it's super, super windy out there. It's getting super windy. Djokovic has worked so hard. He was down 5-2 set point to get to the tiebreak and then to lose it sucks for Djokovic. That sucks. He's done all the hard work, and what for? If he goes down here, it's for nothing. All right, Safuelin 3-1. All right, serve to the backhand of Pegula. Forehand from Jovic as Pegula up the line to the backhand of Jovic, but I think Pegula hit it long. 15 love as Djokovic to the backhand. And then Safuelin hits it out. We're back on serve 3-2. 3-2 Safiullin. Have to go early as I'm at Silverstone. Hey, enjoy that, Scott. Have fun. Go Piastri. Is he... He's there, right? All right, 15. Love Jovic as she serves. A fault. Second serve. Mukovic won the first. Okay. Djokovic, lovely drop volley, and he's at 3-0. As Jovic hits in the net, 15-all. Jovic trying to hold here, make Pegula serve for it. All right. As Pegula, 15-30. Lovely shot. 15-30. Great shot from Pegula. And Djokovic at 3-0 as they change end. Djokovic serving into the sun. As he hits a forehand inside out of the backhand of Safiullin. Djokovic forehand cross court. Safiullin gets back. Into the forehand. Djokovic up the line. Now to the slice of Safiullin. Safiullin in the net. 4-3 Djokovic. 4-3. Piastri not in top 5 cam. Okay. All right. Jovic. 30-0. As the return goes in the forehand. Jovic. Forehand from Pegula is a beautiful winner. And Pegula's got a break point, set point. 30-40 to take the second. And Safiullin serves down the tee. The forehand of Djokovic. Forehand from Safiullin is a winner. No. It missed. Oh, just missed. 5-3 Djokovic. Safiullin just hit it wide. Why have you developed this habit of commentating 2 matches at once? Please stop. It's confusing. It's not. We've been doing it for years. All right, Jovic saves the set point deuce as Djokovic gets the mini break. 5-3. Return goes in from Djokovic to the backhand of Safiullin. Djokovic backhand to the backhand of Safiullin. Djokovic to the forehand goes cross court. Safiullin gets it back. Djokovic another backhand to the backhand of Safiullin. Djokovic backhand again to the backhand of Safiullin as Djokovic just goes backhand to backhand and then eventually hits it out. 5-4. Djokovic will serve for it. Please don't stop. It's not confusing. Okay. All right. 5-4 Djokovic. Pegula and Djokovic are going to get set points at the same time, aren't they? Pegula's got another set point advantage. Pegula. As we just serve out wide the backhand, Safiullin. Djokovic with the backhand. As Safiullin goes up the line and hits it long. 6-4 Djokovic. He gets set point as well. All right, Pegula to take the second set as Jovic serves. Into the forehand of Pegula. Backhand of Jovic. Into the backhand of Pegula. Jovic with a forehand again to the backhand of Pegula. Now Jovic goes cross court. Pegula gets it back. Jovic gets the point though, and they go back to deuce. Pegula overhits it. Now Nole has a set point. 6-4 to take the first set here. Remember, he's down 5-2 set points. And now he's got a set point. Serve and volley as Safiullin puts up a lob. Lands in. And then Djokovic smashed. Safiullin gets us right. Djokovic making Safiullin run. And then eventually Djokovic hits it out. Safiullin survives. And he's getting the crowd going. He's still down set point though, but he's on serve. 6-5 Djokovic. What a hustle by Safiullin. That was a great run. I think Nole's like, that was annoying, but respect. But that was annoying. Don't do it again. All right, still set point. Now set point Pegula again. As Jovic serves. A fault. Second serve. Second serve Jovic and Safiullin serving as well. Safiullin serves a fault. Jovic serves a second serve to the backhand of Pegula. Forehand from Jovic. As Pegula. Forehand goes cross court. Jovic gets it back. But makes the error. Pegula gets the second. 6-3. As Djokovic back into the net. 6-all. They change ends. Pegula takes the second. We're going 3. All right. Safiullin survives. They both had multiple set points. All right. 6-6. Much better set of tennis than that one from the ladies. 11 winners, 13 errors Jovic. 7 winners, 11 errors from Pegula. I say better quality tennis. Pegula, by the way, 11 break points. Only converted 3. But 11 break points. I mean, bloody hell. Crazy. All right, but we're going 3. One set to decide who's making the quarterfinals first. On the women's side, do I watch motorsports? I watch F1 sometimes when I have time, but haven't been keeping up with F1 this year much because the World Cup's taking my time at the moment. Watching that. All right, Safiullin 6-0. He serves the fault. Second serve. Second serve into the forehand of Djokovic. Return goes into the forehand of Safiullin. Into the Djokovic backhand. Safiullin. Backhand again to the backhand of Djokovic. Safiullin another backhand. Into the slice of Djokovic. And Safiullin backhand again. Slice goes in from Djokovic. Again the backhand of Safiullin, who slices it down the line. But goes wide. 7-6 Djokovic. As he gets another set point on his serve. 7-6. What a tiebreak. What a set. Djokovic was down 2-5. He saved set points and then broke back. Got to this stage and gets his third set point. As Djokovic serves again. Into the forehand. Safiullin hits a wide. There it is. 8-6 in the tiebreak for Djokovic. He takes the first. What a set. He had to fight for that one. First set in the bag. I prefer your doubleheader scoreboard. Can't see the score in the small box. Well, that's too bad. This is the way we do doubleheaders now. As with a backhand slice from Jovic. Backhand from Pegula is a drop shot. And Pegula has to volley it away. Good hustle there from Jovic. 15-0. 15-all. If you want to watch the other match, you can jump over to the other stream. That's the point. So that when somebody watches the replay, if they're like, I want to watch Pegula Jovic, they'll watch that stream and see the score because that's what they're watching. They chose to watch that. So, and vice versa. All right, Djokovic, 13 winners, 12 errors. Jovic. Safiullin, 18 winners, 10 errors. 5 aces each. Safiullin's serve didn't win too many first serve points, but he got a lot of first serves in. 86% of first serves in. All right, 30-15. As Pegula serves. Ungrateful. 30-15. By the way, all the goats in the chat, I love it. As with a 4 in the net by Pegula, 30-0. 30-0. By the way, to the guy calling Djokovic grandpa, so I'll give you a little lesson, right? In order for Djokovic to be a grandpa, he then needs to have his son or daughter have a child, right? You here with me? So he's got 2 kids, Djokovic, right? They're both, I think, under the age of 12. So in order for Djokovic to be a grandpa, he would have probably had to have a kid when he was 18. And then his kid to have a kid at 18. Because that's how it works. So, right? So your grandpa, right, is your parent's parent, right? Djokovic's son's parent, his parent is his grandpa or grandma, right? But Djokovic can't be a grandpa until his son has a child, right? You sticking with it? See how it works? So saying grandpa as calling Djokovic grandpa is actually, technically, it's not true. Unless he's got like some long-lost son that nobody's ever heard of that he had when he was 18, and they've now had a son or a daughter, right? Are you sticking with me? So like, it just doesn't make sense what you're saying. You know what I mean? So he's not a grandpa. He's a dad of 2, right? He's got a wife, so he's a husband, right? He's a son of, his parents. Now he's the son of his parents, but he's not a grandpa. In order for him to be the grandpa, his son or daughter has to have a child. That's just how that works. So yeah, not a grandpa. All right. Back to Jovic. Pegula 1-love in the 3rd. Thanks for the clarification. No worries. No worries. That person sounded confused. I think that person was just confused. I'm sure they didn't mean any disrespect by it. They were just confused, thinking that Djokovic had a grandson or granddaughter. But he doesn't. He does not. Not yet. Maybe one day. Anyways, first serve is a fault, second serve. Second serve, Jovic into the backhand of Pegula. Jovic goes to the slice of Pegula. Into the forehand of Jovic. Lob by Pegula is good, but Jovic is there with a drive volley winner. And it's 15-love. 15-love. Who's this lady they keep showing in the box? Is she famous? Does anyone know who this lady is? Is it Safiulin's wife? Is that who it is? Or is it just some random person? She's very dressed up. I think it's, or is it some famous Russian person that I don't know who it is? Does anybody know who that lady is they keep showing? Is it? Oh, it's Safiulin's partner? Okay. I was wondering why, I was like, who is that? Because sometimes, like, celebrities sit in the boxes of players, right? By the way, somebody has dyed their hair green and wearing a strawberry outfit. I'll tell you, that is commitment, and I appreciate it. There's a dude. Oh, wait. Yeah, it's a guy. I think it's a guy. Yep. He is wearing a strawberry outfit, literally a big strawberry costume, and dyed his hair green. It's kind of awesome, though. I respect it. That takes to go to Wimbledon that takes a lot of... I mean, dyeing the hair is a commitment. The hair dye alone is a commitment, right? If you were just wearing the outfit, but you were just, like, you know, you didn't dye your hair, you just wore that outfit, fair enough. You can go to the bathroom, get changed. But you dye your hair, you're committing to the bit. You're committing to the outfit, right? You have decided, I'm going to dye my hair as part of the costume. You can't undye your hair that easily. Not at Wimbledon. You can get changed. So I respect that he went all out. He's like, I'm going to dye my hair green, and then I'm going to pick up that strawberry costume and sit in the stands. Because even if he gets changed and puts on a suit, he's still got green hair. Like, the green hair doesn't go away. Respect that. I respect that. All right. 40-30. As Jovic tries to hold. Djokovic serving first in the second. How's the sun in Australia? I don't know. I haven't seen it. All right, 40-30. As Pegula falling up the line, Jovic with the backhand lob. Pegula comes in with a smash. Puts it away, and it's deuce. Jovic in trouble. We're watching Osaka and Sabalenka? Heck yes. It's coming on after Djokovic. 100% we're going to watch that. And we might even watch Coco versus Bencic. Actually, we will watch Coco Bencic because I want to watch that match. All right. Deuce as we get a forward now from Jovic. The backhand of Pegula. Jovic backhand on the stretch. Goes in the net. Advantage Pegula to get the break early in the third. All right, advantage Pegula. As Jovic serves. As that goes to the net by Jovic. There's the break. Pegula 2-love in the final set. Also 40-love Djokovic. Sorry, 40-15 Djokovic to get the first game of the second. All right, Nole serves again. How's the sun affecting Djokovic now? It doesn't seem to be affecting him much. The sun's moved. Because remember, it was, what was it, an hour ago now? So yeah, he's not being affected by the sun now. And you can tell by the shadow. Look at the giveaway is the shadows of the player. Look at the shadows, or if you can rewind, go back to like the start of the match and look where the shadows are. They're right under his feet. They're right under him. Now the shadow's sort of a little bit more. It's a little bit more away, so you can see the sun's gone over there. Where the sun, when it was up here, the shadow's directly below him, right? So the sun is over there now, which means that the ball toss is not affected because the sun's sort of to the side. Does that make sense? Were you actually asking me, or were you just fucking with me? Were you trolling me, or were you like, did you actually genuinely want to know where the sun was? Where it's not affecting him as much because it's off, it's out of his vision. It's still there, but it's out, like it's off to the side, so it doesn't affect him directly. If you've ever played tennis in the day, you'll know that how bad it is when you're serving in the sun. Like, it sucks. But it's only temporary. After after an hour, it moves, right? Because the sun moves. So it moves out of the way. But it sucks for that time you have to serve with the sun in your face. All right. 15-0 as Pegula serves. As that goes out by Pegula, it's 15-30. Chance for Jovic to break straight back. As a backhand now from Jovic in the backhand of Pegula. Jovic with a slice. Pegula with a forehand into the slice of Jovic. Pegula comes in with a volley. Too good. 30-0. The sun doesn't move, the earth moves. Well, sorry. Everything moves. It's all a simulation, all right? This, whatever. I don't know what the program is. 30-0. As Pegula serves again. A fault. Second serve. How about the moon? Yeah, the moon's not a problem right now. As the backhand return goes wide by Jovic, and it's 40-30. We don't have video. Okay. Well, thanks for hanging around. By the way, tonight's going to get to like 1 degree at my house. So if I stop moving, so I'm just frozen, right? All right, 40-30. Back in return goes the slice of Pegula. Jovic in the net with the slice. Pegula 3-love in the third. Solid stuff from Pegula. All right. All right, Djokovic serving 1-1, 15-love. Why is everyone talking about the sun? Because the sun's a very important thing in life. We need the sun. If we don't have the sun, we all die. So it's a very important topic. But I think everyone's talking about the sun because it was in Djokovic's eyes for like one set. And it's important. All right. 30-love Djokovic. I think you interact too much with your audience. It hasn't always been like this. You should let more things in chat pass by, in my opinion. They are not so relevant. Look, it's a bit of everything, right? It's a bit of B, bit of A, bit of C. We do a little bit of everything. All right, 40-love Djokovic. But you're right. Chat, stop talking to me. I'm trying to watch the match. 2-1. Djokovic, by the way, is stretching out his legs. As Pegula with a backhand slice into the forehand of Jovic. Fought from Pegula on the stretch. Jovic up the line as Pegula with a slice. Backhand. Jovic with a volley. Too good. And it's 15-love. $15-love. As Jovic serves again. Oh, God. Chad, does anyone like sit down and then their knees hurt for no reason? Me neither. I don't know how that feels either. All right, 15-love. As Jovic serves. Into the backhand of Pegula. Good return to the forehand of Jovic. Pegula backhand. is wide. 30 love. 30 love. You talk too much about the game. In my opinion, you should talk more about the chat. Anyways, 30 love Jovic. 30 love. As we return now the back end of Jovic. Slice from Pegula is a lovely drop shot, but Jovic can get there. Put it away. 40 love. 40 love. Lovely drop shot, but a better run from Jovic. 40 love. In my opinion, you should do what you want. See ya. The airport's closed. I can't leave my house. It's too late. Everything's closed. I wanted to go to the thrift store. It's midnight. There's nothing open. 40-15. Jovic with a fault. Second serve. (40-15). As with a backhand return from Pegula. Into the backhand of Jovic. Pegula with a forehand into the forehand of Jovic. Again to the forehand of Pegula. Jovic goes into the Pegula backhand as Jovic again forehand to the forehand of Pegula. As Jovic backhand goes cross court. Pegula with a slice. Jovic gets a volley. Pegula with a lob. Jovic can't get it. It's 40-30. 40-30. Still a chance for Jovic to get on the board here. Final set. Oh, why does Brazil-Norway start in 6 hours? It's so far away. All right, 40-30 as Jovic serves a fault. Second serve. Djokovic is 2-1 in the second. As we get a return from Djokovic in the slice of Shafuel, and Djokovic backhand pass in the net. It's 2-2. 2-2. Is Serena and Cam related? No. Me and Serena are not related. So we've got a 4-4 rally. Up the line now from Jovic. Slice from Pegula goes in the forehand of Jovic. And it's Pegula backhand. Drop shot winner. And it's deuce. All right, deuce. As Jovic serves again. I'm off to watch another channel because you're commentating on 2 matches. Bye. Oh, well. All right, advantage Jovic. Bye, Felicia is wild. Jeez. Chad, I thought I was savage. All right, advantage Jovic. As Pegula trying to get back to deuce. 30-15 for Djokovic, by the way. And Jovic with a forehand cross court. Djokovic. Pegula gets it back as Jovic forehand again to the forehand of Pegula. Jovic gets it back with her backhand. Pegula slice into the forehand of Jovic as Pegula on the stretch. Into the slice of Jovic. Pegula with a drop shot. Jovic with a pass. Pegula with a volley in the net. Jovic on the board. 3-1 in this final set. Jovic on the board. 30-15. As we're back in return now to the forehand of Djokovic. Forehand now from Safiullin. Into the forehand of Djokovic. Safiullin forehand to the backhand of Djokovic. Again, the forehand of Safiullin. Djokovic backhand again. Into the backhand of Safiullin. As Djokovic with a backhand again. Into the backhand of Safiullin. Safiullin hits it out. And it's 40-15 as Djokovic raises his hands. By the way, you know that guy's coming back. That guy will be back in chat by the end of the stream. Don't you worry. That guy's going to come back and be like, "Hi, everyone." He'll be like, there he is. He's back. He'll be back. He'll be back. I love 15. You're bullying and a rude person. He's okay. Don't worry. I'm not actually sad. It's okay. I'm not actually sad. I was just joking. Look, he's free to do whatever he wants. Don't call him a bully. He's not a bully. And I don't take it that personally. All right, love 15. There's a backhand slice from Pegula into the backhand of Jovic. Pegula with a pass, but Jovic with a drop volley. Actually, it was a volley that went over the baseline. The opposite of what I just said. 15-0. I can't see. I'm wearing glasses. 15-0. 15-0. As Pegula serves again, a fault. Second serve. As Pegula serves again. And it's no good. 15-30. 15-30. As we serve again. As return goes in the net by Jovic. 30-0. Big point here. As we serve from Pegula into the back of Jovic. Return goes out by Jovic. 40-30. Solid serve. Cam's Australian, not American. 100%. How was my 4th of July? Pretty much like everybody who's not American. Uneventful and, I mean, I did nothing. As with a 4-4 rally, I was here the whole time. Backhand. It's a backhand rally that goes out by Jovic. It's 4-1 Pegula. I'll tell you what I did see, though. I saw the coolest thing. I'll tell you what, chat. I'll tell you what. Americans, I know you're here. You guys... I saw... And I don't know if this was real or not. You can tell me if it was. I saw them doing a light show on the Statue of Liberty, playing Born in the USA by Bruce Springsteen. I'm like, holy America. That is the most American thing I've ever seen. I want to be a part of it. How can I join? Can I come over? Can I please be over? I want to be there for that. That was insane. By the way, I have been to America on 4th of July. I was in Vegas, and it was crazy. But what I saw was next level. I was like, holy shit. And then there was like planes flying, just dropping like blue, white, whatever, blue, what is it? Blue, red, white, and blue dust everywhere. And I'm like, what? They were literally painting the skies in the American colors. I was like, this is just, you guys just do it next level. I know it's 250 and, you know, obviously 250 is a big year. But I was like, wow. I want to be at that party. Like, you do it like next level. I want to see the light show. That was crazy. And like Born in the USA, I was like, okay, where do I sign up? Where do I sign up? All right. Anyways, Pegula, 4-1, final set. I never felt so patriotic in my life. I'm not even American. As Jovic serves. Into the forehand, Pegula. Return goes back into Jovic. Jovic in the net. Love 15. What did I do in Vegas? I watched the World Cup. I was in Vegas when Brazil lost 7-1 to Germany. I saw that on TV. All right, love 15. Oh, wait, sorry. What I was meant to say was, well, you know, what they say, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. That was very uneventful. I went and saw the Grand Canyon. I saw Hoover Dam. Like on the 4th of July, there were like dollar margaritas, so I had a few of those. I think like there was a band. Like there was POD performed in the streets. That was fun. It was pretty. And then I think I was in bed by like 8. It's pretty uneventful. I love 30. Chance for Pegula to get the double break and serve the match. As Djokovic slips over and Safiullin hits a lovely drop shot, saves the break point deuce. All right. Love 30. Big chance here for Pegula for the double break. And Djokovic just slipping as he tried to take off. As we're to find up the line, long by Pegula, 15-30. By the way, do you get a day? Oh, today's Sunday, right? So you get a day off today. All right, serve and volley, no need. Djokovic with a pass. Advantage Nole to get the break in the second. Great passing shot from Djokovic. Just a little chip as there was a serve and volley coming from Safiullin. All right. As Pegula return goes wide and it's 30-all. All right. Return goes to forehand to Safiullin. Four now from Djokovic. As Safiullin backhand to the backhand of Djokovic. Again, the backhand to Safiullin. Djokovic to the forehand cross court. Safiullin gets it back. They go forehand to forehand for a bit. As Djokovic forehand again up the line. Safiullin's there with his backhand. Djokovic forehand goes cross court in the net. And we're back to deuce. As Pegula hits a lovely drop shot and gets the 30-40. Pegula wants out. She wants that quarterfinal spot. All right. Advantage to Pegula. 30-40 for a double break. Serve is a fault by Jovic. Second serve. Mukova's winning. Nice. Second serve, Jovic. Into the backhand of Pegula, return up the line. Jovic gets it back with a forehand. Pegula forehand goes the backhand of Jovic. Pegula volleys. Jovic pass in the net. There's the double break. 5-1 Pegula. And she's going to serve for the match. And a spot in the quarterfinals of Wimbledon again. She made the quarterfinals here a couple years ago where she lost to the eventual champion. Wait, did she lose? No, not 2 years. 3 years ago. She lost to eventual champion Vondi in 2023. Last year, she lost first round. And she only lost second round. So first time in the quarterfinals since 2023 where she lost to Vondrousova. And she was up 4-1, I think, in the third and lost the match. So hopefully against Gauff or Bencic, she won't have that problem. But yeah, serving for a second quarterfinal here. Made the quarterfinals were better at every slam. Has Pegula, very consistent. All right, advantage to Fuelin as that goes out by him, and it's back to deuce. As Pegula goes to 15-love. Now, we do have Coco versus Bencic coming up later to see who plays who. So make sure you join us for that a little bit later. And that's just a banger match on its own, even if it didn't have any consequences on what we just watched. We'll be watching that anyway, just because it's a crazy matchup. That'll probably be on when Sinner plays, I think. All right, 30-love Pegula. As the return goes in the fort of Pegula, Pegula puts it away. 40-love to take her spot in the quarterfinals. Be the first player just to get to the quarterfinals because Mukova is about to get to the quarterfinals as well. I'll tell you, we're getting some crazy matches coming up on the top half of the ladies' draw. They are shaping up real interesting. All right. As Pegula with a great serve, she wins! 6-1 in the third. Pegula's into the quarters. She fights back against Jovic. And she takes her out in 3. Jovic, though, is getting better against Pegula. First time it was straight sets. Second time it was winning the second set. The third time she was leading. But she just faded away in the end. And Pegula just has that experience. But I tell you, Jovic is not far away from making that big breakthrough. And maybe it's going to be in front of the home crowd in America. Maybe she'll play Pegula there and get her first big win against Pegula, because Pegula's been a bit of a boogie woman. 3-0 now against 0-3 against her, so we'll see what happens. As Djokovic does get the break, perfect timing. Or terrible timing, I don't know. Depends who you ask. But great win, Pegula. And again, just her and Keys are just sneaking through the draw. No one's paying attention to them. No one is paying attention to Keys. No one's paying attention to Pegula. But no, Pegula never gets attention until she becomes like the obvious, oh, well, she's the last top 10 player left or whatever. But she'll play the Coco or Bencic, which is going to be a tough one. I tell you, I wanted to play Coco. I wanted Coco versus Pegula quarterfinals. Great. Love that. Love that. We'll watch that one later with Bencic and Gauff. But GG's, Jovic is out. All right, 15-love Djokovic. Pegula loves playing against her fellow countrywomen. Yeah, what's her record against Americans? Because she's got a good record against Gauff. She's got a good record against Keys. She's got a good record against Anisimova. She's got a great record against Jovic. Like, what's her record against Americans? Like, she beats most Americans. I mean, she's the number 1 American, so it makes sense that she would be the best of them, but she never seems to lose to Americans. You know, she seems to beat them all pretty easily. What's her record against Americans? Her record is 131 and 55. This year, she's 7-0 against Americans, including a win over Keys, or 2 wins over Keys, 3 wins over Jovic, a win over Kessler and two wins over Anisimova. Last year it was 12-2, only losing to Gauff and Keys, beating Navarro, beating Lee, Kennan, Collins. 11-1 in 2024 and 8-3 back in 23. So yeah, her record against Americans super one-sided. In 2024, she won 11 and lost 1. The only one was to Gauff at the WTA Finals, and Gauff won the whole thing. So yeah, she likes playing against Americans, does Jess Pegula. And she is the best of them all. If you're talking about ranking, she's number 1, ahead of Gauff, who's number 5, ahead of Anisimova, who's number 7. Then you've got Jovic at 15. By the way, Jovic career high ranking, unless Paolini wins tomorrow. But she's at a career high ranking as of now. And then you've got like Keys at 23, Navarro at 26, Lee at 31, Baptiste at 33. So yeah, but Pegula is the best American. But I don't know, maybe it's because she doesn't have a slam to her name, but she is the best of the Americans. And she doesn't mind playing Americans on the tour. All right. Djokovic 5-2. Let's merge these streams because maybe that's when we'll get that guy. That guy will come back now. Because I'm so sad that he left. All right, jump on over. But great win by Pegula. She comes back from a set down, and it's 4-6, 6-3, 6-1. She's into the quarterfinals. She's the first player to get to the quarterfinals because Mukova hasn't won yet. And she's going to take on either Gauff or Bencic. And we're going to be watching that in a couple of hours' time, so make sure you stick around. But we've got Djokovic, we've got Sabalenka, and we've also got Sinner coming up, so make sure you join us.